Okay, now it's time to put it all together. If you haven't saved recently, I suggest you definitely want to save this before you go any further. I'm going to call this Heart J underscore 48 because that's the assignment that we're in right now. And I saved it as a PSD because I want all my layers. Now, the first thing we want to do, we just saved it, so this is not so dangerous, but we're going to go layer and we're going to flatten the image. So now all our work is on one layer. Now the image size for this particular thing is 5 by 5 at 150. We want to make a 9 by 9 grid, so I'm going to make a new document, File, New, and this one is going to be called, we'll title this one Heart J underscore 48. Now you might be saying to yourself, we might have to actually, you know what, I'll switch that to 50. We'll make this 50, Heart J 50. So your last name, first initial underscore 50, and our presets are going to be, here we go, 15 by 15, and our resolution has to be the same at 150. Let's go with a transparent background. Click OK. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build that 9 by 9, or 3 by 3 I should say, composite, 9 total. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag our image. I went split screen up here in case you missed that. We're going to drag our image over to our new document. Okay, we could actually close this document then. It's going to ask if you want to save it. If you want to save the flattened version, I suggest you don't override your PSD. So I'm going to click no. I don't want to override my PSD. So there's my face. It should fit in this perfectly if I did everything right. I'm going to keep duplicating this and moving it over. Filling up the screen. Click and drag, bring it down over and over again. Okay, through the magic of video editing, I've gone through all of mine off camera here, so you can see every single layer. All right, they're all identical. But what we're going to do now is we're going to play with the hue and saturation on each layer. I'm not going to start with my first one here because I'll just leave that as is. So we'll go here, we're going to go Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and all you have to do is slide your hue and saturation slider to change up your color. Now, you want to try to keep your colors different. You don't want the same family of colors touching. So as you move down your list, obviously you don't want two similar colors next to one another. So just go layer by layer, image, adjustments, hue and saturation. Play with your hue slider up here. Make them all a little different. All right, and I'm going to stop and fast forward. Okay, as you can see, I've got each one a little bit different. Each one I just did image adjustments, hue and saturation on, so I've gone through all 9 of them, okay? Okay, now I'm going to go down to my bottom layer here. This is layer 1. There's nothing on layer 1. And I'm going to go up to image, canvas size, and I'm going to switch. Your default is probably 15 by 15 right now. Click relative, and I want you to type in 0.5 and 0.5. Now what I'm doing here is I'm expanding the background by 1/2 inch all the way around. So as you can see, now we have actually a transparent background, but if I were to take this and fill it with white, edit, fill, and we're going to use, I can use, white right here. Okay, that gives us a border around our picture. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put a white border around each of these boxes. So I'm going to go up to this layer. It doesn't really matter which one you use. I'm going to click Effects, and I'm going to go with an inner shadow right here. Now I've got to set up this inner shadow. It's not going to be defaulted the way I want it. First thing is I want to be on normal. I want my color to be white. I want my choke slider to be all the way at 100% right there, 100%. And you could see down here how it's affecting it. My opacity also needs to be at 100%. So right now that is way too big. What I want this pixel thing amount to be at is 5. Okay, so again, normal, white, opacity at 100, choke is at 100, and the size is at 5. Click OK. Now that gives you your effects right here. Now here's a real shortcut to get all of them to look the same. If we right click here, we can go copy layer style. And then all I have to do is I can select each of these layers. I can hold down my shift key and click the top and the bottom one, and then right click and click paste layer style. And that same effect goes on each layer. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see the finished product. So there it is. I would save it now as a PSD in case I screw something up. All right, save it as a PSD, click save. And then before you drop it for me, okay, we're going to flatten it. And we're going to go save as, and we're going to save it as, we'll call it 50. We're going to put it in the public folder, class shares. Where's my folder? Heart J, student drop, digital photo. We'll go 8th period. The folder is Warhol Portrait right there. I'll rename it assignment 50, okay, and we'll call it Warhol Portrait. Very good.